All right, everyone, the political scandal of the century continues. The Hunter Biden laptop now revealed in testimony to have been self-evidently real, and the FBI actually knew it. Now, this scandal is taking us across the fucking gamut from legacy media propaganda and collusion with the government, which is, unfortunately now legal after Obama ended the idea that the U.S. government couldn't engage in political propaganda through the domestic media. Through Silicon Valley, big tech censorship of this story, of any revelations about it, algorithmically deboosting everything about it, which they still, by the way, do on some sites. We'll see how many views are on the YouTube video later, of course. And those probably higher in Rumble, etc., etc. The Hunter Biden laptop case is really the case where a crack-smoking idiot left his computer behind at a repair shop. It got taken, gone through. The FBI tried to cover it up by taking the laptop and then pretending that it didn't exist at all, lying to the media, actually, and definitely to Silicon Valley, especially to Zuckerberg, which is ironic as hell, and to the people at Twitter, to try to stanch the bleeding, to try to stop the story from spreading. Originally, a lot of people thought that the FBI simply wasn't certain whether the content was real or not. Of course, they have the physical device. Then they have to look into whether it's actually Hunter's and stuff. A casual stroll through the content based on the material that we've seen released so far would tell you that it was presumptively his and that he goofed big time. He's trafficking prostitutes and doing crazy shit. You've got all the emails and calls backed up, etc. You've got pictures of him smiling with his daddy at business meetings his daddy claimed never to have had. According to the new testimony, though, the FBI was aware that it was Hunter Biden's laptop initially. So it flat out lied to people when it talked about a Russian disinformation campaign and told Zuckerberg to keep a watchful eye out, when it contacted presumptively YouTube and other similar sites. Certainly when it delved into Twitter and used the agents embedded there to try to coerce algorithmic distortion and blacklisting and things like that. The FBI did all of this knowing that the material that was being spoken of was real. Originally it was presumed, though, they weren't sure, and so they hoped. They chalked it up to a Russian disinfo campaign. They were ignorant. Well, no, they weren't ignorant. They were malevolent. Some of us suspected that, but we didn't have proof until now. So, to be clear, a taxpayer-funded agency with legal resources coerced millions of examples of censorship, violating the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment in the process, in order to cover ass for the Bidens, knowing full well that if the scandal were revealed in full, and normie America knew about it, there was no possible way to honk fortify the 2020 election. Nobody would have goddamn believed it in a million years because Biden would have slipped by 3 or 4 points. The writing would have been pretty much on the wall at that point. Ballot printers may go brrr, but there's only so many ballots they can print, you see. Unfortunately, the FBI lied to the entire public. Now, the public should be pissed at them, but I notice that it's become a partisan circus. There are people out there that seem not to care. They don't care about the fact that they were woefully and deliberately, it seems, misled on this topic. They were misled by Joe Biden, and the FBI knew it. They were misled by Nancy Pelosi, and the FBI knew that this was misleading. The FBI knew everything from start to finish. They were aware. They had a gnosis that the machine was actually Hunter Biden's. Ergo, the material on there was actually pertinent to political discourse, and they did literally everything in their power, and not just the FBI. It goes to every rung of the DOJ, etc., CIA probably involved. They did everything they could to stamp out the story. Why? Because they were afraid that the bad old boss would come back. Oh my God, if this gets out, Trump will be reelected. To deal with 4 more years of his orange man bullshit and orange man bad. It's basically how some of their agents appear to have conducted themselves in their private conversations. Look at Strzok and Page, for example. Well, clearly there are biased individuals within the FBI. Now, would you not think that higher-ups at the FBI would have been aware of the existence of this? Do you really think that it was just a handful of mid-tier field agents that were handling this material, damning as it is, and with evidence of hundreds of different instances of crime on it? Soliciting prostitutes is illegal. Trafficking them across state borders is more illegal. Smoking crack is illegal. Giving it to other people is more illegal than smoking it yourself. Certainly lying on a form for purchasing a firearm is also highly illegal, but apparently Hunter Biden can do no wrong. They are absolutely still ass covering for him and his daddy too now. I like how a lot of people say, well, you're just obsessed with Hunter Biden's pee-pee Polaroids. I don't care about Hunter Biden's dick. I care about the fact that the FBI and the entire government from the top to bottom seems to have known about this scandal and covered ass in order to lie to hundreds of millions of people. That's my concern. I'm concerned about the fact that Joe Biden was peddling influence while he was in office, thus violating numerous laws as well. His son being a crackhead is amusing, but it's not the sum and substance of the story. And when they resort to the pee-pee Polaroid cope talking point, that's because they're worried. They're saying that right now because they are worried, because people are beginning to wake up a little bit and understand just how deep the problem went, just how deep the rabbit hole goes. And just think, this is just the scandal that you know about. The only reason you even know about any of this stuff, Hunter Biden's various crimes, Joe Biden's business dealings, all the weird shit on the computer. The only reason you know about this is because he was on crack. Because he's a druggie. He's drugged out. He forgot his computer there because he was smoking crack probably at the time. Probably also driving under the influence on numerous occasions. I don't think he walked to the computer repair shop. I don't think that's in his gated community with his privileged dad. The FBI knew. It was aware of the fact that it was real. I would think even liberals would look askance to having been lied to in such a direct fashion. If you know that something is true and you tell everyone that it's false for political reasons, like other than political scandal, is there any other way to describe that? I don't think so. So naturally, the FBI is still covering for them to this day and still pretending to, they hide behind their badges. Well, we're a nonpartisan agency. We uphold the Constitution and defend the people of the United States. You don't defend the people of the United States by making them fucking ignorant, which is normally a journalist's job. Normally the news handles that. They had to go through the news and around the news on this one because it was so damaging. It's one of the greatest political cover-ups, actually, in U.S. and probably world history. That's about all. Peace out.